we're in a situation which I've said to Gary several times, every time I do these meetings, whether it be online or in person, I'm sat with a load of people saying, we're vacancy poor and candidate rich. I am literally in the polar opposite position where we have vacancies to the point we don't even want to bother trying to get any anymore. We don't have any candidates because nobody wants to be in the motor trade, which is where the automation came from that I pinged over to Gary. We've always had automation set up pretty much from day one of kind of marketing type mails. So a shortlist trigger or a submission trigger will send out whatever kind of email we want to, whether it be targeted for people we know we've spoken to recently, or really generic for people we haven't potentially spoken to at all. And there's another one for something in between. I see the kind of open rates, I see the click rates and what have you, and they all have their various hyperlinks in. People don't read them. Certainly in the motor trade, they're not interested. Or the worst one is when you finally get hold of them on the phone a week later and they start kind of talking about the amazing email with the amazing job that they saw a week ago that they never bothered to reply on. So it was one of those things I sat kind of with a couple of guys in the office thinking, right, how everybody's at this point where nobody's answering the phone, nobody's replying to emails. I just need to kind of market in a way that we don't do. So I literally built a candidate owned by the consultant, send them an email, really very generic of, I've got 500 vacancies across this geographical area, from balloters through to general managers. If you or anybody you know of is looking for a job in the motor trade, please get in contact as soon as possible to view what jobs might be right for you. There was then a click here to view jobs. That took the candidate to our vacancy page, and it was just the landing page. So no matter where they lived, they obviously had to put in the area, the radius they wanted, and in effect the job they wanted. The open rate, I think, when I sent them over to Gary, was kind of, they were averaging around about 70% in the end. The click rate was averaging around about 60%. And the one thing, I did pre-warn all the consultants here who agreed to having this done, that one of the automations I set up ages ago would also then trigger off the back of this, which is if a candidate is on our database and they click to view a job but don't click apply, the consultant gets a notification to say this person looked at your job but hasn't applied for it, maybe give them a call, because obviously there's a reason they've clicked on the job. Kind of looking back at some of the first questions was, how do you not look creepy? We very quickly said to consultants, do not call candidates going, hi, I can see you've been on the website, because they're going to instantly say, take me off your system, because people get freaked out. Everybody knows it goes on, but nobody likes to be told it's going on, is one of those weird things in life. So we made it very clear of kind of just call them and say, hi, give me a call, I've got some vacancies in the area, you're on our system. Are you or do you know anybody currently looking? You know that they potentially are because they've already looked at your website. So that instantly meant that everybody's inboxes filled up with kind of 400 or 500 emails within a couple of hours. But it's a good problem to have. There's 400 or 500 warm leads of candidates that are potentially looking for work.